Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and we are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. If you're a growing business and want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. We're also sponsored by V&B Auto Centres. If you're in need of an MOT and you're in and around the Handsworth area, or even if you're not, they're doing 50% off what is already a dirt cheap deal, 30 quid. Tell them you're a Rambler, you'll get it for 15. What about that? People all over the world, join hands, join the more train, or do we prefer Kiefer Moore? How do you like it? How do you like it, Kiefer Moore? Well, it's not just for me to say, because I'm not going to be on my own tonight. It is 90 after 90. We are talking about a very good 3 points on the road at Cardiff, another away day where we're coming back with all 3 points. I don't care whether we were not at the races in the first half. We can get into all that, and it's your chance to have your say. I'm absolutely buzzing. Apologies that I'm a minute or two late because I've just raced back from Andy the Blade's house where I had a completely legal stream that I was watching. So yes, that's where I've been, but I can't do this alone. And you don't just want to hear my view, do you? You want to hear someone else's view.
This is a view from the mountain with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man mountain strong and true. What a man, what a view.
What a man, what a view. Mr. Mountain, how are you, pal?
Well, just a big cheesy grin, mate. What can we say? 50 points, 22 matches. Goodness me, that is it's astonishing. Just astonishing.
What did you think? Before we get into anything, this is going to be, obviously, we're very pleased to get 3 points. I'm sending love and best wishes to our boy, Dave Leary. We're thinking about you, pal. It's going through a difficult time personally at the moment. But we are thinking about you, mate, and can't wait to have you back on when you're ready. But, yes, so today's performance, game of two halves, would you say? Would you say we weren't really at it first half? I know we controlled the play in the first half, but it didn't really look like we were going to create anything. 6 shots, none on target. I thought we were the better team without really troubling them too much. And then we went up a gear again. It's those moments of individual quality, and this time it was Kiefer Moore. Last time out it was Gus. We've had this thing where people are showing up in the vital moments for us. Is that good? Is that something that we can continue to do, or is that resting on your laurels a little bit and something we might want to be concerned about when we play the better teams that's coming up now? So go on, you tell us everything you thought, pal.
Well, I think if we've got that mindset, I think we're greedy. I'll be honest. If we think celebrating a 2-0 away victory, very solid, very professional, they never looked like they were going to score at any point in that game. Again, I would say it week after week. I thought they were well organised, Cardiff. I think they had a game plan. They sat back. I thought Willett was their best player in the first half.
Agreed.
Looked like he could do something for them. I think we were a bit pedestrian with the ball. I'll be honest. I thought that we were slowly, nice and safe for most of that first half. I'm sure Wilder would have wanted a little bit more urgency in the second half. And that's what he got. He got a bit more of that. I thought that was triggered a little bit by Ryan Brewster coming on. So I thought that he put the effort in. I think he re-energizes a little bit at the top of the pitch, but the quality on the first goal was outstanding. Gilchrist, great ball over. Superb touch. He was being fouled. I thought if that was
absolutely shirt like this, weren't it? All over him. I
don't think you get them in the box, Jim. But I think outside the box,
you don't. But it was being impeded, weren't he?
But it was a let's put it right, and that was a top class finish. If someone does that in the Premier League, you know they're talking about it. Oh, look, the touch, the finish,
I know.
goal.
I know.
Honestly,
incredible,
that was
wasn't it? Incredible.
He went back to his own land and really did show up today in that respect in front of goal. Again, first half, I think he was a bit loose with some of the stuff he was doing. He was trying, but it wasn't really coming off for him. But two really well taken goals from his point of view. Deary me, they got the ball nicked off him. I thought Callum O'Hare needs a big mention today. I think he covered every blade of grass. He nicked balls that he had no right to nick. One criticism when he had the chance to shoot on the edge of the box and went flying. I agreed with the referee. I agreed with the referee today on that call. And
just give it. There's players in space in front of you. Just either shoot or just don't hold on to it.
Centre of the goal. He's centre of the goal. He's got to unleash the dragon at that point. In my opinion,
unleash the dragon.
Do you remember that song?
Welsh dragon.
No, it was the song, wasn't it? Was it Cisco, the guy who did the thong song? I think he had one. It was quite embarrassing, really. But no, I thought Raksaki looked off it again, unfortunately for him. And I thought Peck.
I thought he were poor. I thought he were really poor today, unfortunately.
I was surprised he didn't pull Peck at one point because he was on a yellow, and you know what he's like.
Kept niggling, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit like he could throw it all into doubt in a minute if he goes into something. I thought Davies was nice and calm in the middle. I thought it was a good show from him, really. I thought Suter was steady. I think I am with you.
I was going to ask. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I am going to say it. Jack Robinson today against better teams.
This is my mountain sport, by the way, not mine.
Yeah, okay. Against better teams, that would cost us what he's done today. I think he made three quite big mistakes in that game that on another day would have been punished. Certainly, if we're at Prem level, they'd probably punished 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, so I kind of get your narrative on that one. And the sooner Anel is back, I believe he will walk straight into the team. So yeah, I thought Gus's attempts in the first half were a bit loose. I couldn't understand what he was trying to do with the little half volley in the first half. Couldn't get my head around why he was in it like that at all. He was linking quite nicely with O'Hare because he was our bright spark in the first half, I think. Yeah, and other than that, I think it's like I was listening to the Cardiff commentary on it, and we were. Happy. They were very, very happy at half time. They were like, "Oh no, this is really good." I was like, "Christ, they haven't had a shot yet," but they were thinking they were doing a fantastic job. But you know, I thought it was very professional. Again, we relied on some quality, but again, we don't look like getting beat, Jim. We're going to be in every single match if we can defend and be as organised as that. And they were sat quite deep in the first half. I thought Hamer was the only one breaking the lines with his passing into feet. I thought he was the only one trying to pass forward, really. So yeah, and I thought when he dropped into the 2 deeper ones in the second half, sorry, I think that gave us a little bit of impetus. I thought that first ball into the striker or the number 10, I think he's the one that was snapping the ball in,
zipping it in,
showing quality and on that respect. So yeah, I mean, delighted. What a superb performance, classic away performance of a team that looked like champions, Jim.
Oh, that's a strong statement, but listen, it may well be valid. Like you say, we've taken 50 points from the first. We're sat on 48, obviously. We've taken 50 points from 22 games. We're well on track for a 100-point season, which is ridiculous. I don't expect us to repeat the exact same form in the second half of the season. You know, if we finish on 90 points, let's hope it's enough to do the job for us. But wow. In terms of what the job that Chris Wilder's done, I think you were spot on with more or less everything you said certainly that I agree with. I think we don't like digging out Sheffield United players, and it's been a very good victory today. I think Cardiff were quite poor. I think, you know, they were difficult to break down, and I think it's just a case that when teams sit in such a defensive shape like they did, they basically said, come on then, break us down, and we'll try and catch you on the break, and they're at home. And we struggled a little bit in first half, but in second half we managed to do it, obviously thanks to a couple of moments of magic from Kiefer. But I thought Raksaki I thought that was his worst game in a United shirt. And I don't like, you know, digging him out, as I say. I don't want to focus purely on the negatives, but I have to give you an honest assessment of it. I think Raksaki and it makes me wonder, do we need a little bit more on that right-hand side? Because Andre Brooks, what has he got to do to get a look in? What has he got to do? Ryan Brewster, I thought, looked really good when he came on. And, you know, not brilliant. I think there were a few little stray things here and there, but I thought he looked very sharp. He's clearly getting his match fitness back, and I thought he looked good. Jack Robinson. And I know there's he's a bit of a cult hero for United. And I understand why, because people love the passion and the way that he presents himself in a United shirt. He'll give everything for the shirt, but it worries me. It worries me defensively. And, you know, hopefully it's become fewer and further between when he's making these mistakes, but I don't think the quality is necessarily always there in this league anyway. So I think against the better teams, like you say, if he does that on Boxing Day against Burnley, chances are Jay Rodriguez puts it in top corner. So those are the differences, aren't they, at the top of the league? So if you look at the results again today, top 4 have all won, I think, aren't they? So it's just more evidence that we're pulling away because there's a pack that's better than the rest. So we've come into this difficult run of games now, and you've just got to grit your teeth and get through them, haven't you? I mean, I went through it with Connor on Battle Lines. He thinks we'll do well through this period just because of how we're grinding out results at the minute. And once we've done I'd say these next 4, so for people that aren't aware, we've got Burnley at home next on Boxing Day. On 29th, we've got West Brom at home. On the 1st, we go away to Sunderland, really tricky fixture. And then we're away at Watford, again, another really tricky one. And I think that's our worst run then till to come, really. Just because of how they're spaced out, short time periods, short turnarounds, really difficult places or teams to face. After we've done that block, Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland all have difficult fixtures, like coming back end of January, early February. So we have a slightly smoother, in my opinion, run of fixtures. So it'll be interesting. And I think if we're top 2 come that Watford game, after that Watford game, I think we are in a really, really strong position. So I need to start getting to people's comments because we could talk about this game for ages, but I want to bring everybody in. Nick Cook starts us off. Merry Christmas, Jimmy and the Ramblers. What a great win. Think the ref was spot on today, and the championship goes into Christmas with Sheffield United #1. Up the Blades and up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Nick Cook, the most generous Rambler out there. If anybody wants to rival him for that moniker, you're more than welcome. But thank you, Nick. That's very, very kind, mate. And a Merry Christmas to you and everybody else, really. I'm going to be on with the warm-up, I think. So I'm not going to give all my Christmas wishes out just yet, but I think I'll be on with the warm-up for Burnley on Monday. And we might be doing a Mardy Blades tomorrow, but we're going to see how things go. All aboard the Moore train, says Chris. Another professional job done, says Kyle. Up the Blades. Choo-choo, says Nick. Block Blast says, come on, you Blades. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. When do you think Sousa and Anel will be back? From what I gather, they are both 50-50 to make the Burnley game. They were never going to make today. 50-50 for Burnley. I don't think Campbell would be in the reckoning personally, and that's just my opinion. I think I've said all along, I think his injury is probably worse than has been let on. But again, I've had no confirmation of that. That's just my suspicion. I don't expect us to see him till the new year, to be honest. But I think Anel and Sousa, particularly Sousa, I thought we missed in periods today. If Cardiff had been stronger in that central midfield, they could have really done us some damage today in terms of getting through the lines. And Sousa would have mopped that up beautifully, I thought. Fair play to Moore today, says S17. Poor in the first half, but showed his class in the second. Still need a striker in January. Right-hand side is worrying. Raksaki missing. Alfie slow and poor. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Any thoughts on Alfie Gilchrist, Mr. Mountain?
Yeah, I mean, if you want a modern fullback that runs 200 mile an hour and is better at going forward than going backwards, then he's probably right. But I think he's a good defender. He's solid, and he does a lot of stuff that people don't always notice in that respect.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It was his cross for Moore today, actually, as well. So it was a really good raking long cross that hit the money. So no, I think that's a bit harsh, but I think we've got one of each there. I don't really see that being a position that we're looking to strengthen, like you say, with Shackleton and as the third choice in that position. I think that's well covered.
I agree.
So yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh, but everything else he said was spot on there.
And I think Sariki gives you that option, like you're talking about, to bomb forward, doesn't he, and get involved with the attacks. I think against lesser teams, he will, when he's fit. Obviously, he's not been fit to make the bench recently, but you've got to remember as well. Today, we've obviously got Arblaster out, but no Anel, no Sousa, no Campbell. They're all to come back. They're all to, obviously, apart from Arblaster this season, but that's what we're missing. And we've acknowledged we haven't got the deepest of squads. So going into January, it does look like we may be having to do some business that we weren't preparing for, really. I think we'll definitely use the 2 loans. It's just a case of depending on who owns us, I suppose.
Someone said about us getting a couple in plus the 2 loans, and someone else doubted it, and then Wilder kind of said it in the week, didn't he? He's thinking about getting extra players in. He obviously listens to the Ramble, and
obviously he does.
And
Obviously
agrees.
Good mate of mine is Chrissy. Christmas at the top says Judsy TV. How much are we likely to have to spend in January if the takeover goes ahead? No idea, pal. Absolutely no idea. Never spoken to them. Don't know anything about them, to be honest.
How long's a piece of string?
Yeah, exactly. It's a wish rather than an expect, really. Raksaki offering very little again for me, says Paul. Brewster showed more in 2 minutes of coming on. I thought Brewster did look very lively when he came on today. Raksaki missing in a game yet again, says John Quaza. Game change when Brewster came on. Got to start him on Boxing Day, up the blades. Oh, so you'd start Brewster instead of Raksaki? That's interesting. Does that change his shape?
Not really. Oh, I think you have to have a little shuffle, don't you? And you put possibly Hamer on the right and Brewster more centrally, possibly. I don't know, but I think Brewster's on form for sure. Brewster showed more today than Jez did. But again, like Kiefer Moore, people second guessing and writing Kiefer Moore off. Last game he was poor. 2 moments of brilliance today wins us the game. Similar story to what Raksaki did when everyone was naysaying him earlier in the season. He turns up the next game. So I think there is a quality player in there, but I agree that he hasn't shown it for quite a few games now. And Brewster look lively, and he might go for that.
Not to put a dampener on Brewster, because again I thought he played well today when he came on, and he's sort of making his own case to start. But I don't think he's a right winger. I've just got to. What has Andre Brooks got to do? And I know he's not a legit right winger, but that's where he's been playing for the majority of the season. What has Andre Brooks got to do to get a look in? Because Jez is dropping. Jez's form's dropped off a cliff. And yes, I love the fact that we're staying, we're backing him and we're keeping him involved to try and recapture that form. But why don't Andre Brooks come on? It's a straight swap, isn't it? Really.
I've got to believe that Wilder doesn't think he's doing enough in training. I've got to believe that because his performances haven't warranted being completely bombed out as he has been. So I don't know. Maybe he's saving him. Maybe he's having a break. I mean, it's stuff that we don't see and we don't know, do we, Jim? Because there's no real rationale based on what we've watched on the field. He's had a couple of loose games where he's struggled and hasn't looked as confident and what have you. But yeah, like I agree with you. He mustn't be doing it in training. I feel if he was running through brick walls in training, I think Wilder would give him more of an opportunity. I don't know what I thought of. They brought it was a Baptiste on, didn't they? And in the second half today, and he got stripped to the ball and ran at once, and he didn't seem to be too quick. So yeah, not really seeing enough. Didn't really see enough to make a judgment on him. I don't want to do that. I want to give him an opportunity if he's going to play, but.
I don't know enough about him. Obviously, we know where he's come from. He's got good pedigree. I was of the understanding he's a centre half, and he were brought on for Alfie at right back, weren't he, today? So I'd expect me right back to be a little bit sharper and quicker than a centre half. You know, just speaking loosely. Yeah. If he's playing at centre half, he don't necessarily have to keep up with a winger. So it were maybe just a fit. It were a surprise. It wasn't a surprise, but you don't usually take a centre half off in a game. And I think it spoke loudly that Robinson got hooked. I know Reece Norrington-Davis came on, and I thought he looked quite solid, to be fair, when he came on in the little that he had to do. But I think, when do you ever see a centre-half get pulled? And I think that's down to Wilder acknowledging that he's made the 3 big mistakes. Well, yeah, 3 mistakes that could have cost him.
I do agree, but also Norrington-Davis, I think he needs more exposure to the games. I'm struggling to see how, because when we at the start of the season, I think we were touting him as our best defender when fully fit at the start of the year. So, and I just don't. I think he's just kind of the forgotten man. Really, we don't really discuss him too much. We don't talk about him. He's coming off the bench every now and again for the.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because I really rate him as a player.
Yeah, me too, and I think we all did. I think us as fans, we think there really is a player in there, and we were all calling for him to get his contract renewed and everything else. So yeah, I do want to see a little bit more of him. To be frank, I mean, he's got he's got what do we call him? McCallum. What Zebedee? The way he jumps, honestly,
Unbelievable,
mate. Yeah, he did it again today. He was just like he's like 3 foot up in the air. His feet are miles off it, and they aim for him at all the goal kicks, so they know it's happening. Perhaps we need to deploy him at corners a little bit more because he's got a hell of a leap on him. Oh yeah, the other one was Davis, his header. Oh no, I was like, that is, for me, that's bread and butter. I think he should be putting that in the far corner personally. Do you know when
really?
the header that he sort of straight at the goalkeeper. He hasn't put any direction on it at all, and it was the perfect ball in.
I'll be honest, I missed the last 3 minutes of injury time because otherwise I would not have made it back.
Before that, Jim. It was before that. So,
yeah. No, I can't remember off my head then. Sorry, I was slightly distracted there because Prince Abdullah's just tweeted saying, all Sheffield United wins mean a lot to me, and they always will, but this one is a bit special. Up the Blades. Interesting. So we can talk about that. If you've got any theories on what Prince Abdullah's referring to, just put a picture of the table on as well. That's the last one, isn't it? That's the last one. Yeah, it certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Certainly appears that way.
It would be more than appears, I'd say, my friend.
Wow. Okay. This is 90 after 90. You are welcome to get your calls in. We've already got Dry Bri waiting for us to come to him. I will come to you very shortly, my friend. Sorry to keep you waiting. Any reason why Brooks hasn't seen playing time? We just talked about it, Evan. I'm not sure. I think he has been poor in his performances that he's come on, but we're persisting with Rak-Saki. So when Rak-Saki drops off a little bit, why not give Brooks that opportunity as well to regain his form a little bit? Like Paul speculated, maybe it's something in training. We just don't know it really. Bean says, great win. Moore's first was unreal. The bench today was a concern. We need this takeover completing ASAP. Well, is that tweet from Prince Abdullah encouraging anybody that we are very close? Because it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Hey, Jimmy, up the more, says Ricky. Absolutely. Simon says, great result. David says, sorry, Jimmy, we're having a party, so I'll catch up later. What a Christmas present for us. Big Keith, up the Ramble, up the Blitz. Nice one, David. Glad you're enjoying yourself, pal. One of our Platinum Ramblers. Definitely need Brewster or Campbell up front with Moore against Burnley. Maybe going 4-2-2-2 is the way forward, as Rak-Saki was not at it again, says Scott. Davis is getting better game by game, says Bean. Happy to be proved wrong after what happened to him last season. Hopefully it's Davis and Sousa against Burnley. I would hope for that combination too. And that's no slight on Sidney Peck. I just think he needs a rest. He looks absolutely jiggered to me. He's playing so many more minutes than he were expected to. And yeah, it's going to get to you eventually, isn't it? Very good win for us, says Jack. I think that first half was slow. I think the takeover moved faster than us then. But the last 35 minutes were outstanding. 5 first teamers out, says Ricky. I've named 4. I don't know what the other one is. But yeah, there's a lot of big hitters out for us at the moment. All players who would start for us as well. All I'm going to say is no one cares about the takeover, no matter if it happens or not. This team is winning week in and week out. Top of the league for Christmas. Now to get drunk. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Okay, Kiefer Moore says Phil. Hey up more today. Wow, that first goal was ridiculous, says Volcanic Ash. It certainly was. Ridiculous finish. Gus and O'Hare, outstanding. They're working together an awful lot better now. It took them a few games to click, didn't it? Well, it took them 10 games or so, I'd say, to click, and then they've just got better and better working together. Moore was poor in the first half, but quality goals. Brewster looked great when he came on. Top at Christmas. Merry Christmas, Ramblers. Made it look easy, says GT.
Christmas.
I think it, like Paul says, it was professional, weren't it? It was just made it look a bit routine rather than it were a matter of time, certainly in that second half. Justin says, very solid away performance, that potential to be a tricky game, but quality always tells in the end. Delighted for Kiefer, top of the tree at Christmas. Cooper should be charged a ticket for all that he's done. Expect it.
Like that, Ash.
How good is Michael? I didn't have a lot to do today, obviously, but he's just immense. Absolutely immense. Absolutely love the guy. Glad for Moore getting some goals. Hopefully feels the love, says Si. Great away win. Two brilliant goals from Kiefer, I assume JC's going for. Good evening, Liam. Evening, lads. Hope you're both well. What a win. What a second half performance and another clean sheet. So happy for Moore. 2 great performances. Brewster was phenomenal when he came on. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Tom Davis throwing up before the second half. Did you see that? He played well and he's getting better every game. I saw that as well. I saw
Did
that.
you?
He were throwing up on the pitch before the not massively. It was just like regurgitating. I don't know whether he drunk something too fast or whether he were genuinely not well. Wilder might reveal a little bit more in his presser, because I saw him on about 50 minutes call him over and sort of check on how he was.
What was that film? Any Given Sunday, wasn't it? Where the American footy one.
Yes,
so he used to throw up on the pitch before.
Excuse me. I'm a little bit under the weather myself, but apologies. I'm trying not to cough all over the stream. And in fact, I'm going to hand it over to one of our main men who's been waiting patiently backstage. So I appreciate you taking your time waiting for us. It's Dry Bri. How's it going, pal? Let me take this banner off your face. You all right, pal?
How are you
doing?
How you doing? All right, Paul?
You right there, Bri?
I'm all right, mate. Can you see me all right?
Looking good. Look, the Rambler's #1 elf.
Yeah,
Mate,
well, I'm out tonight at 7 o'clock at Chesterfield in Ches Vegas, so I'm on early, so I'm out straight after this.
Nice, mate. I like it. What did you reckon to today then, pal?
Fantastic. And another 3 points, another clean sheet. Top of the league for Christmas. What more do we want? What more do we want?
We want 3. We want 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, Bri. That's what we're getting greedy. We're getting greedy, aren't we?
We'll have to start sending Cooper with a flask and sandwiches on, won't we, in a bit? It's fantastic.
Yeah. We could have done it today with my mum in goal, couldn't we, to be fair?
Well, look, stats were 61% possession. And when I saw it end the game, I think it was 90% passing accuracy. It was like a training game at times. I mean, I think we grew into the game. We were a bit lethargic first half.
Yes, I agree.
We just grew into the game. We got top. I mean, they were there just to consolidate. I don't think they had that much ambition to win game. If I'm honest, they had a couple of chances, but I think once we got in front, that were it. They're only going to be one winner. They weren't going to score because they opened game up for us then. Didn't
yeah,
they? And we were going to get a second one, which we did.
They were playing like the away team, weren't they, Bri?
Yeah.
Because I think that obviously they're lacking confidence, so they've come with a structure that was never going to trouble our goalkeeper and our back four. So
you lacked ambition a little bit from them, didn't it? Really, I suppose. Just saying break us down.
We know what it's like. We know what it's like when you're losing every week or whatever. When they've not won for 6 or 7, your confidence drops, doesn't it? And when we're at top of the league and we're playing well, I'm not saying we're going to definitely win, but you've got more chance of a winning when you're playing against a team which are lacking confidence. So
I personally think that Gus Eimer is going to be so important to keep fit and keeping our team because like today, like we say, they lacked ambition. They were absolutely buzzing with the performance that they were putting in to keep us contained. And when the team, like you say, we're a team who've accrued 50 points in 22 matches. When you roll into town, teams aren't going to come and have a go. Sometimes they're going to sit ourselves in. And like I said, I felt it was, like I say, it was a steady, solid performance. Yeah, I felt Gus was the only one really. Although O'Hare played well today, I have to acknowledge, but I felt like Gus was the one who was trying to break the lines in between, and I thought his passing was sharp and through the lines, and that's kind of what you've got to do to break teams down when they've got such a low block. So yeah, I mean, tell us about the importance of Gus then, Bri. Tell us how much what he does for us.
Well, Gus and Hamer, they were outstanding.
The same person, Bri.
Sorry, Gus
O'Hare
were outstanding. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, them two were fantastic. I mean, he were holding it together in midfield, Davis. He were breaking things up. Peck were breaking things up. They were getting a foot in. Like you, I think when Peck got booked, I thought, is he going to pull him? But he didn't. He trusted him to stay calm and do a good job and finish game off. And he did really well. I mean, Brewster, when he come on, did more in 20 minutes than Raksaki did in all game.
Yeah.
I said it before, the last couple of times we've been on, is either lacking confidence or something's not quite right with Raksaki, whether he just can't get himself into game or he's not putting enough into game or wanting ball. I don't know. But as soon as Brewster come on, he looked full of confidence. He played well. He wanted ball. He moved the ball around. But I don't know whether he's playing to the way Wilder wants him to play. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I think the only thing with Raksaki is, I think at the moment, because Brooks isn't, doesn't seem like he's pushing him. I know Wilder alluded to the fact in this presser that Andre Brooks is behind him. Maybe that's the competition we need on the right. But if you remember back early season, Andre Brooks were getting in and Raksaki was scrapping to try and get on and get involved, and he had to play really well in his scarce appearances to get into the team, and maybe it's time that he sits out a little bit. And like we said, we play Brewster with a slightly tweaked formation, whether it's Brewster that goes inside, like Paul says, and maybe Hamer out on the right or O'Hare on the right, and just see how he reacts to coming on as a bit of an impact player rather than a definite starter. It's never a good thing when a player is automatically guaranteed starts, is it? So it's one of those that I think maybe if he drops out for 1 or 2, even though it's a very difficult run of fixtures coming up, so it's a tough decision for Wilder.
Do you change a winning team, Jim? That's the thing. Is he going to leave it alone?
Did we start? We didn't start winning until Raksaki went off, though, did we? I don't think.
Well, no. But here's what it is. If they keep winning, what do you do? If he plays for that system, it might.
Yeah.
You'll look at argument if Fennell is fit, is he going to come straight back in? Which I think he probably would.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's saying with Campbell, if with Sousa, are they going to come straight back in? If Sousa was fit, are you going to give Peck a rest? I would assume so.
Yeah.
He looks absolutely wrecked at minute end of each
he does.
game, doesn't he? He puts the right shift in.
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
He does.
Lad,
it's no slight on him.
though, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
And he's learning game. He's only, for what he's done in place of Blaster, been outstanding. Been absolutely outstanding.
It's been a huge ask of him, hasn't it? Been a huge ask, huge boots to fill.
I noticed before the game we had 1 or 2, not complaining. They were saying how young the bench was, and it were right with Baptiste coming. I'm so pleased for Baptiste coming on. Wilder's not going to put him on bench for no reason. I know we're a bit short of numbers, but it's good experience for these kids on bench, and for Baptiste to come on, give him 10 minutes. That'll do him a world of good, I mean, he's got a good pedigree when he were at West Ham, Man City. So he's no mug. He's played well for under 23. So why not? When he wins,
I also think Wilder's.
It's right time to change, isn't it? You give him them, drip feed him in. Keep drip feeding him in.
I also think Wilder's very clever as well, and I think there's always a hidden message to the board in there, isn't there? Look at the state of this. Not state of this bench, but I think 4 of them players, Billy Blacker, Louis Marsh, One and Baptiste, they've probably got less than 10 professional appearances between them. So it's that's a message, isn't it? That's us saying we're short. So
you just alluded to it earlier. I wonder if that's the last one then for Prince Abdullah. If he's putting messages out like that, I would assume, unless you know differently, Jim, that'll probably be the last one.
I don't say the word imminent, Bri, because I think that's become a bit of a catchphrase online, hasn't it? But
imminent of an imminent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it's announced very soon. I think at this stage you've got to probably think Monday, but who knows? Who knows? Could be a weekend announcement.
I'd have a guess at Monday now. I think it'll be Monday.
Yeah. Get things in place. Let everybody have a Christmas and look forward to New Year and stuff like that.
Well, it means crowd will be up, won't it, going into Boxing Day as well, which would already be a great atmosphere at Bramall Lane. But if a takeover's confirmed and the excitement and anticipation of what that could bring, and we've talked about both sides of this, but it's certainly going to up the crowd, I think, in terms of that game against Burnley.
I've not looked at league table. I think somebody in commentary said I think we're 10 points clear at 5th team. Is that probably right?
Ooh,
Can you look at that, Jim?
Middlesbrough have drawn today and Blackburn have lost. So the top 4 all won, didn't they? So it's had business as usual. But the gap to 7th is huge now. Do you have a quick look, Jim? It's the 3rd place I'm interested in.
Yes, that's right.
We're 4 points clear of 3rd place, which is Burnley. Obviously, we've got the chance to open a huge gap up there. Sunderland are next in on 43, so they're a point behind Burnley, and then it's a big gap to Blackburn, who are 5th on 37 points, which is 11 behind us, but they've got a game in hand. So it could go down to 8, but it's starting to shape up into it where there's a few breaking away now.
I think it's that 4, isn't it?
I think it's that top 4. Can Sunderland keep the pace? They'll be throwing everything at us on New Year's Day to try and keep up with us. Burnley will be scratching and clawing to try and keep hold at top 2.
What a game!
It's going to be tough.
What
a game.
Boxing Day.
What a
Boxing
game!
Day. If we win that game, well, I know don't want to tempt fate. Touch wood.
Don't. You
touch
can't
the
say
ground,
that.
smack a rabbit. If we win that game, I'm telling you that
we might only be 5 points clear of third, though. That's the problem. And then we've still got to play Sunderland. If Sunderland win, then we've still got to play them, haven't we?
It's about this, Jim. It's about
this,
isn't it?
I know.
If they come to us and they get turned,
we've been to Millwall, we've been to West Brom, we've been to Middlesbrough, we've been to Leeds. We're going to Sunderland. We're going to have got the majority of difficult games. We've been to Blackburn and won, so that we've got the majority of the difficult ones out of the way. There's only Burnley to go to. That's a real problem. So interesting.
We might have players back for that, Jim, as well.
We will. I'm sure we will, Bri.
So we've got to go there with confidence. Why can't we go with confidence? We top of the league, man. We've got to get. Why shouldn't we go there and just put them under pressure? Let them worry about us rather than us worry about them.
I really like the videos that the fans do for us on the warm up, because they will tell you how worried they are about Sheffield United, and it's good for perspective for us. They always say Gus Hamer, one of the best players in league. You might not score many goals, but you always find a way. I think you're going to go up. I think you'll finish top 2. And we're here thinking, oh no, we've got to go to Cardiff, and that's giving Cardiff all due respect, because they're a tough team in Championship, but we should be going there and beating them, and we have. Do you know what I mean? But we've not always got that overriding confidence that we're going to do it. Like Leeds seem to go into most games thinking, right, we're going to walk over these, and the majority of times they do, to be fair to them. But I think we're a bit more wary. I think we're a bit more respectful. I think we're a bit more wary of other teams, and it's never an easy.
Enjoy the ride.
That consistency we've got, that structure we've got, means we are in every single match. We are in every single match, because no one's gonna come and score.
If Anel's back, I'm very confident, and I think it's Sousa that we've missed more. But if Anel's back and that back 5 with Burrows, Anel, Suter, Gilchrist, and Cooper behind him, it's best in league. It's the best. It might be a case of the collective is greater than the sum of its parts, or whatever it is, whatever the saying is. I'm not saying Alf is the best right back, Burrows is the best left back, but together as a unit, that is the best defence in the league. Stats might not back it up. Burnley might have the best defence. I would not swap our back 5 for anybody. And I'm so confident when those 5 line up for us. Don't mean we're not going to concede, but it certainly means we're not going to lose 3, 4, 5, because it just will not happen with this side. And I think Wilder's building something here. I think we've got something special on his hands, and 100%. It's so exciting. So exciting. Next thing is get Wilder a deal. Say again, mate.
Let other teams worry about us. We're top of the league.
Exactly right.
Let them chase us. Let them chase us.
Love it.
Let's go for it. Let's enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. We're doing
anyway, as the Ramble's favourite elf got anything else he wants to say before we let you go?
Listen, I'm going to have a good night tonight in Ches Vegas with me, mate.
You do that, mate.
We'll have a few Guinness and enjoy the night.
Well, you'll be busy on Christmas Eve, won't you? Helping Santa, so...
I'm knackered now, mate. I'm telling you. Listen, guys. All our Ramblers out there, I'll wish them all a very Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully soon on another Ramble before New Year.
Thank you, Brad. Are you there on Boxing Day?
Yes, all being well. Right. I'll see you in TP Boxing Day.
You will, mate. You will. All the best, mate. Merry Christmas, and I'll speak to you soon.
Well, take care, lads.
Cheers, mate. Take care, Paul.
Dry Bri there. Top man. You love him, don't you?
Yeah. How can you not?
How can you not? How can you not?
Everyone's favourite, bro.
Liam says, I thought Tom Davis was brilliant again, and O'Hare never stopped running. Raksaki very quiet again, and the defence was solid yet again. Hamer was class with some of his passes and touches. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Somebody in our WhatsApp group said Davis and O'Hare have got some engine on them, and I think that's absolutely right. They were both still closing down, pressing. It's impressive from Callum O'Hare, who's obviously played the most games this season, I believe. I think he's been on the pitch for the longest. But Tom Davis, who's come back from such a difficult injury, to be back to those sort of levels of fitness already. And he looked like he were towing, like I say, looked like he were being sick on pitch at one stage. Scraped over the line today, says Danny. We just seem to be grinding results out, which other teams around us struggle to do consistently. Pity all teams around us won today, but we got that buffer now for Boxing Day. Up the Ramble. Top man. Tom Davies, for me, is looking quality, says Paul. We'll give Wilder something to think about when Vinny's back. I think it's Davies and Sousa, personally. I think it's got to be. Ian says, come on, Mr. Mountain. Rian brought more than a bit of energy. Linked play and lovely touches and passes. Up the blades, up the ramble. Like and subscribe. You're going to give Brewster any more flowers then, Mr. Mountain?
Yeah, well, I said he did really, really well, and I even said, which Ian will like, that he's worth a start on Boxing Day, which is the biggest match of the season. And I'm backing him to start the game ahead of Jez. That's what I said. So yeah, Ian, that's flowers, mate. When you come off, when you're a substitute and you come on, and there's a visible difference, and I thought he brought that today. And part of it was his energy. He brought energy to the rest of the team as well. I thought we looked a lot more urgent when he was in and around the ball, and I thought he was a threat, and I thought it was good. Yeah, I'm pleased. Listen, Ian, you know me. I'll dig him out when he needs digging out, but he was good today, and I'll tell you that. So, to
be fair, you're a bit same with Robinson with me, aren't you? You think I can be harsh on Robinson at times, but today you've agreed with what I'm saying because he's got a mistake in him, and he showed that today. Brooks needs a loan, says Jack. If he's not getting game time, Raksaki's been poor, so we need someone to challenge him. Yeah, that's the thing, Jack. If somebody, we did our, or I did the plan for Jan, where I did a squad assessment, and the two positions I identified for our loans is left wing and centre midfield. Go and have a watch of it if you've not seen it already. It took me ages to edit, and it's only about a 20-minute video. Whereas these things, I don't have to edit, and we talk for an hour and a half. But that's by the by. So those are the two positions that I've earmarked for us to potentially look at using our loan spots for. The plan originally, and this may change, is that three Mardy Blaze, myself, Paul, and Dave will get together and pitch a player for both positions, and then we get one more, just if we're going to get lucky and get a permanent signing chucked in there somewhere. If you're sending Andre Brooks out on loan, Andre, not Andrea, whoever it is that keeps thinking I'm saying it's Andrea, Andre Brooks out on loan, and you don't feel Raksaki's performing, which I agree with, who are you bringing in? And which other position are you sacrificing from the loans? Because it's a really tough one, isn't it? I think we desperately need a left winger because Gus is so good. He's made that position his own. But I think we can get more out of him more centrally. And we saw a little bit of that today as well. I think we need a centre midfielder to compete. And now that Arblaster's out and we've seen how not weak we are, because I think we've been getting through in games, but you wouldn't want to be without Vinny for a significant period of time. I think we need some extra support in there as well. So it's just where you gauge that necessity of where we need a player in. Scott says, evening, Jim, a lot of teams will set up in this way where patience will be needed. So happy for Kiefer. 3-2 now. Can't wait to have an L back. Davis class again. Up the blades, up the ramble. Well said, Scott. I think, Paul, and you know, if you disagree with this, let me know. I think it's important for us that we get an early goal. If we get an early goal, teams will have to come on to us a little bit more, open up a little bit more space, and it's easier to break them down. When that hasn't been happening, like today, for example, it's been a little bit more nervy. And what we have to do is rely on the fact that we are retaining possession of the ball, passing it around, moving them around, tiring them out, and hopefully then having that extra bit of quality in the latter stages of the game. And that's probably what's happened today. You know, the tire and it's hard, you know, chasing the ball for the majority of the game. And I think it's one of those two scenarios that often helps us. So maybe that's why against a possession heavy team like Leeds, like Middlesbrough, who have a similar level of quality, then maybe that's why we've struggled a little bit. I don't know whether that's something that we need to look at. Any thoughts on teams setting up this way against us and how we can break that down?
Yeah, I think, well, again, we've got to get used to it. And like you say, if it means it'd be nice to have a few more options off the bench, because I think what you said is absolutely right. Teams are going to sit like that. They're going to stay in their shape. For the first hour, they'll have lots and lots of energy. The last half an hour is a time when we seem to be coming into our own a little bit, which is really encouraging because it shows that the players are really, really fit after a really busy schedule, which is what the Championship's about. So yeah, I don't disagree. I think Hamer's the key to a lot of things. And I think we don't need to be relying on him every single week. And so I agree. I think we just need a little bit more. I know there's not many Gus Hamers out there that we're going to be able to go and sign, but no, it's. I mean, it's really encouraging, Jim. We don't look like conceding, and as long as we've got those players at the top of the pitch, I mean, Kiefer Moore's. he provides a function, but he hasn't shown that quality that he showed today yet for us. Sometimes these injury breaks that people get, it's just a little refresher for him, isn't it? It's refresh the body, refresh the mind, and come back, champing at the bit, however you want to say it. But no, I think it'd be great for Kiefer Moore now to hit that run, because we really need. It's going to be about moments. These next 4 matches are going to be about a split second, a moment of quality. And Moore's shown today that he can bring something to that party, because that first goal, I've said it already, was unbelievable quality. Honestly, if Dennis Bergkamp did that, everyone would be like, bloody hell, that's Dennis at his best. Because honestly, it was that good. Having been fouled, the touch on the chest and the half volley into the top corner, unstoppable against any goalkeeper in the world, anywhere you want. So,
maybe I'll let you. I should probably reveal this on Behind the Ramble, because it's a little bit behind the curtain, I suppose. But when we scored and Kiefer scores that absolute rocket, we started singing. We're justified and we're ancient. So yeah, we felt vindicated a little bit that Kiefer's the man that's won us the game.
I do know my stuff. Yes, I am very, very clever. Yeah,
he had a really bad not a really bad, but he had a bit of a dodgy first half. Some of his touches were loose and stuff like that. And my dad particularly were like head in hands sort of thing. Like, we have gone out on a limb here to defend this man, and we can't keep doing it. It's one of them things, really. But and then he just shows his quality in a moment. And yes, he needs to be more consistent. Yeah. But again, reminding everybody that you're all aware of, we're in the Championship. And if he did that every week, he certainly wouldn't be playing for Sheffield United, would he? So that's the difference, I think. Jack says, so glad for the result. 3 really good points, especially away. We'll need to become more creative. We'll need to be better creatively to break defensively solid teams. Sonny says, Jack Robinson is not a cult hero. He was smashing players when we were getting battered 8-0 it wasn't every week, but when we were getting battered 8-0 every week last season. That's all he's good for. The truth may hurt a few people, but that's a fact. I wouldn't go that far, to be honest, Sonny. Listen, you're entitled to your opinion, pal. That's what you're here for. And I love the fact that you're comfortable to give that opinion and probably dangle that argumentative carrot in the chat. But yeah, some people don't rate him. Some people think he's great, and some people love that sort of smasher mentality. And sometimes for a club like us that are more about hard work than they are, raw and pure talent, then a brilliantly timed sliding tackle or a goal-saving block can get as big a cheer as a goal, and I understand that. And he's probably the most likely to do that out of most players on the pitch. But I do think, and I think it were evident again today, that he's got a mistake in him. And I think it's fine. We've got away with it against Cardiff, and like Paul says, against better teams, you wouldn't. But we are planning, hopefully, to go up to the Premier League. And that's where Suter and Anel might struggle. So we have got to improve in these areas longer term if we're going to be a sustainable Premier League club, in my opinion. For the perfect Christmas, win today, announce the takeover on Monday, says Scott, win on Thursday. Oh, that would be a perfect Christmas, wouldn't it? Sunderland only got back in the game against Norwich due to a red card. We're better than Norwich. Borough dropped points at Plymouth. Yeah, that's true, Danny. That's true. Sunderland, a little bit like us, have been grinding out results, though, aren't they? And I think that's credit to them. They might not be brilliant every week. And I think it'll be a really tough game at Stadium of Light, I have to say. Robinson was outstanding today, says Neil. What have I missed? He's getting better game by game, always grows through the season because his fitness and standards are high. Paul?
I've said it. He made 3 errors today, and I think we were fortunate, certainly on one of them, not to concede from those errors. And everyone's entitled. Again, he won Player of the Season last season in a very, very poor season. But yeah, I think there's a clear drop off in terms of what Jimmy said about him all along. Today is fully vindicated and justified, because I felt that a bet against the better side, that would have cost us, and then we'd all have been up in arms. So I think you missed some at Neil there. Honestly, I mean, I don't mind your opinion, but I just feel like I don't think his standards are that high. I think he tries hard, and I'm never fault him for that, for his effort and how he goes about it. But today he slipped over at one point. He was like Bambi on ice. I don't see that he had a good game today.
I think you just got a vendetta against him personally. Merry Christmas, guys, says John. Great win. Let's give Brooks a chance. Raksaki doesn't look interested. Dave the Nose, we love you, pal. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Jamie says, Merry Christmas, Cardiff. Merry Christmas from Cardiff, probably. I know Jamie's one at Away Blades that's gone today. Remember, Santa's a Blade, he says. First team to 50 points. Up the Blade, says Beardman. Absolutely right. We need 3 players, says Danny, in January. Quality over quantity. A defender, a midfielder, and a striker. Send Oney out on loan and Brooks, as they need regular game time. Use loans to replace and a fee for a defender. Interesting. Come on, you Blades, says Danny. Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Merry Christmas, Blades. Another win, another clean sheet. Top for Christmas. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Roll on Boxing Day. Thank you, Danny, pal.
Cheers, Danny.
Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Everybody, you know. Harry says, I don't think we need a striker in January, but we need another outlet. Rely too much on him as magic, which is all good when he plays well, but against tougher sides, we need different goal scorers, such as Ben Brereton Diaz. Well, he might be somebody we discuss quite soon, Mr. Mountain. Come on, Leeds. Oops, wrong channel. Now then, Jimmy. Welcome, Nipper. Hope you're well, pal. Another win for us both today. Don't forget the like button, Ramblers, says Danny. Nice one. This squad feels different to 22-23. It feels like an actual team rather than the Illiman and Die show. Feels so much like 18-19. Very well said, Jamie. I completely agree, pal. Completely agree. Corinthos Blade says, Tom Davis, man of the match for me today. How he won the ball back from Moore's second was brilliant. He never stopped running. Agree. I thought he was great, Tom Davis. Grew into the game a little bit. I thought he was a little bit, I think he was firing his passes into teammates in first half and sometimes making it a little bit difficult for them to control. But he is, my dad was saying again today, his game management is superb. He just knows how to calm the play, look after the ball, control the press. And it's just, he adds another level of experience that I think we've been missing. And he does look like I won't necessarily say a Premier League player, but he looks like a player of good pedigree. And he could obviously become a Premier League player with us. So I think he's been really good since he's come back. Tazzy says Alfie won't commit or even try to take his man on. It's a weak link with Raksaki not playing well. God knows what Brooks has done to not get minutes. I'm seeing a couple of that are down on Alfie at the minute. Obviously, I'm in agreement about Raksaki not quite hitting his levels, but Alfie maybe hasn't had his best performances out of the last couple. But if he's a 6.5 out of 10, and we're still keeping clean sheets, I think he's been 7 or 8 out of 10 more often than he's dropped off. So I'm not overly concerned at the moment about Alfie's form. And I think judge him, in the big occasions like Boxing Day, it will be a big game for him, and it will be him as well. Jamie says the worst thing about losing Vinny is that we need 2 players to cover for him, and they have to do a double pivot, like how Rodri being out affects Man City, but we have quality all over to cover. Scott says Prince Abdullah's tweet, Jimmy, maybe a hidden message behind it. I don't think it's hidden, mate. I don't think it's hidden at all. I think it's very obvious what that tweet's about. And for anybody that doesn't know, Prince Abdullah has tweeted saying something like very, very. Oh, I'm going to lose it. All Sheffield United wins mean a lot to me, and they will always will. But this one is a bit special. Up the Blades, and he's got a picture of the table with Sheffield United proudly atop of the table. And that, to me, appears to be I leave you in good hands.
Let's just remember when he joined our club, what kind of a mess.
I've loads to say about Prince Abdullah, mate, and I will in time. I think history will look very favourably on Prince Abdullah, and so it should. There hasn't always been. It hasn't been a smooth transition. There's been 2 terrible seasons in the Premier League. There's been a transfer embargo, but ultimately, when you look at where we were and where we are, it's absolute night and day. We are so much better off for his reign, in my opinion. Yeah. People will differ, and I know Chris Wilder's played a huge part in that as well. I don't take any credit away from Chris Wilder, but there's so much that I want to say about Prince Abdullah, and he's keen to come on. He messaged me yesterday to say, can we do a ramble with the fans as well, to sort of talk to the fans about his time at the club.
And can I say the most recent transfer window was pure magic.
Outstanding.
Pure magic. The money we got for
I know.
We sold water
Dross.
and got wine prices. That's for sure. And when the negotiations that we've been doing, I know that not every deal comes off, aka Brewster and McBurney, but we don't go on about that. But some of the money that
Someone said McBurney did a good job for us over 5 years.
Yeah, well, I've made that case before that he has guided us, and he was part of a good season in the Premier League as well. But yeah, I think that this last window, you know, the negotiations to get those players in and to get the money we got for the others, yeah, he's a massive part of that as well. So we have got to remember that as Blades, that when he rocked into the club in League One, we were in a right pickle, and we all know it as well.
I honestly cannot remember a better window. I can't remember us having a better window in terms of the transformation, getting out big earners who were big reputation players as well, but on the wane, you have to argue, and probably most would agree, getting in huge fees for players like Will Asula, Austin Trusty getting his money back, Benny Traore getting his money back. There's so many good deals that we did, and bringing in the players for the price that we did. Callum O'Hare cost $0 in transfer fees. Yes, he was an expensive deal still, but you know, that's a £10 million player that you don't have to pay the 10 million on. Michael Cooper's the one for us. I know I don't have to convince you about that. Michael Cooper is the number one for me. Harrison Burrows at £3 million for somebody who could be our left back for the next 10 years. It's unbelievable business, unbelievable. And there's only, you know, you've got to hope that the new owners, if that's what it looks like it's coming to, will continue to back the manager and the recruitment team in getting these sort of players in, because it feels like Jamie says, it feels like another 18-19 rather than, you know, the Ndiaye show of 22-23. It's so exciting. Joe says, when was the last time Raksaki had a good game? Apart from him, I thought we were fantastic away from home today. It was a very professional performance, wasn't it, Joe? I feel sorry for Robbo, says Paul, who will undoubtedly lose his place when Nelly's back. He's a warrior. He is a warrior. There's no doubt about it. He is tough, and he is. But I think it's a bit of a statement when you take a centre half off, a centre half who's wearing your armband. It doesn't happen. I never see centre backs being subbed off unless it's an injury, or you're on a card and you look like you're likely to probably do something daft. I just think it spells trouble for me. I don't. If Anel's fit, Anel plays on Boxing Day 100%. Is Paul sitting in the can? Don't know where that's come from, Toronto, but no, I think he's in his house, mate. To be fair, you know, normal seat, I believe. Brewster came on as the game opened up when Raksaki was playing. They had 11 behind the ball, says Volcanic Ash. Pixie says, now then, Jimmy, how good was that second half? If we play like that in the first half against Burnley, they will slaughter us. I'm saying 2-0 against Burnley for them Blades. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. How confident are you feeling going into Burnley, mate?
I think it's something to look forward to. Games to look forward to. You know, we don't often get these scenarios where we're sat top of the tree, 50 points, 22 matches. They're in third. It's an opportunity for us at home with our amazing home record, you know, to put them to the sword. And we owe them. We owe them as well. And I think the motivation for that, the players will be going for it, and I really hope that we do it, and we go and show our quality, and more hitting the straps at just the right time for me makes such a big difference. Such a big difference if he can score those type of quality goals. You know, not every week, but if he can come to the table with that kind of finishing that we haven't seen from him, let's be right. Then
next week, mate, it could be a takeover on Monday, and it could be Vinny Souza and an L back in the lineup for Thursday. How much of a boost is that to everybody? I just think it's going to be electric, innit, Bramall Lane on Boxing Day. Absolutely electric. It's
the game of the season. It's the biggest match of the season, I'd say, because of the circumstances. And we've got to turn up and we've got to go and do it. And I think
do you know what the ironic thing is? Leeds will all be Sheffield United that day. They'll all be cheering for Sheffield United. So we push Burnley further away from them. That's exactly what will be happening. They will all be wanting us to win that game. Paul says it's definitely a penalty for me against Brewster at the end. I thought so too. Ref clearly didn't want to pile on the hurt for Cardiff, but we need the goals. Yeah, we do. I think I don't know if we should be giving up on goal difference at the minute. I don't know how far away we are, but I think Leeds keep just running away with games, don't they? And games like Plymouth and Oxford, where we should be looking to get us goals, but we just haven't been doing it. Raksaki's still walking my dog. Needs to start Bruce the next game. We need a set piece coach, says Jack. I think that's something we've talked about previously on the channel in terms of making more of both attacking and defensive set pieces. Prince is gone, says Key. Imminent. The Prince probably had a $5 on a Blades win. That's probably what it was, Paul. Yeah, that's the most important Blades win for him because he had money on it. Yeah, I'm sure that was it. I'm sure that must be it. From somebody who doesn't gamble. Yeah, I don't think so. But Moore offers nothing, apparently, says Pixit. Pixit, we had loads in our chat. And it's not one to say and have a pop at people, is it? It's not, because we all want Moore to do well. Whether you think he's underperformed, overperformed, think he's great, don't think he's great. If he's scoring 2 goals and winning us points, winning us the game, winning us 3 points, we're all happy, aren't we? So it's I don't ever think it's a case of ha to everybody in chat who was saying what. I mean, I might have reacted in the moment, but that's for the chat alone. But other than that, it's a case of we're all Blades and we all want United to win, and we've done it. And it's been Kiefer Moore that's been a huge part of that win today. And that's what it's going to take, in it, moments of individual quality from top players who can do that. And Paul said it right. You cannot underestimate how difficult that finish was. It was intended as well. It weren't like a fluke that just flicked off his toe. It was a real moment of quality. And I don't think it will get the praise it deserves, but what a finish. What a finish. Last time we saw Brooks was against Oxford with 15 minutes left. Then everyone took the foot off the gas. Yeah, true. Andrew says, hey up, Jimmy. Raksaki poor again, been poor since Palace said they didn't want him back in January. Yeah. Something Clarkey pointed out in one of our groups as well. Good spot. Yep. Good performance today. United, top of the league, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Jack says it's possible Prince Abdullah has written that due to his upbringing in Swansea and really dislikes Cardiff. That's true, actually. He's known to be a huge Swansea fan, and that's probably why he's saying it means more to him than any other result. So, yeah. That's
great
probably,
point, that, Jack. Wow, knowledge.
Yeah,
knowledge is power.
Not many people know that Prince Abdullah were born a huge Swansea fan. Hopefully Moore won't miss Burnley. Look to be struggling at the end. He always looks to be struggling. He's always in wars, isn't he? Which I love. I love a striker always involved. Tarlad's got to go out on elfin safety duty, but I'll watch the rest later, says Lee. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Yes, well played, pal. Raksaki awful again, says Ronaldian. So many poor games. Sure you gave him a 4, Jimmy. No, I didn't. Surely I didn't. And to be honest, I've looked back over my ratings and I think I was just leaning towards I need to make sure it's a left winger and a centre midfielder that we get. So maybe I was a little bit generous on my right wingers. So yeah, maybe we do need 3. Peck's looking tired, says Jack needs Sousa back. I think we'll get him back. I'm hoping so anyway. Anybody see Bannon doing an impression of Superman in their own penalty area and getting away with it? Clearly it's his hand. Not bothered. Don't talk about that one. We don't tend to talk about it. We can do if you really want to, but who's bothered about them? Are they relevant to anything that we're doing? We're miles in front in every metric, by the way.
16,
I don't just mean in the tail.
16 points would be 18, obviously. So
yeah. They're irrelevant, which hurts them more, I think. Little bit of faith went for a 1-1. Me of little faith, says Ray, went for a 1-1 draw, but absolutely love to be proven wrong. Another clean sheet. Only disappointment is Raksaki. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Steve says needed that win with today's result, boys. Not seeing it, but had the commentary from Radio Sheffield on at work. Got tickets for Boxing Day. Up the Ramble, up the Blades. More, absolutely right, Steve. If you're about beforehand, we will be in Triple Point before the game. If you want to come and say hello, Raksaki had no pressure to do well since Brooks hadn't played a minute or something like that. Jack's saying, I think, and Stevens repeated his point from earlier. Mr. Vancouver, thank you, pal. Very, very generous. Unbelievable. Thank you, pal. Top of the league, and my boy O'Hare is really starting to show why CW has so much faith in him. Up the Blades, up the Ramp. You're right, Mr. V. You have been a strong backer of Callum O'Hare, saying that he will come good. And so far, so good. You've been proved right. He's got better and better. And he's now becoming an integral part of this team. I think some of the things I expected him to do well, he's not quite doing, if I'm honest. But some of the things I weren't expecting from him, I think he's superb in the high press where he's hassling players and putting them under pressure and winning back possession for us. Stuff that I didn't expect to see from him. He's really good at, and I really rate him.
Give him a clap.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that's how he claps, in it. That's how he claps. And we've replaced McBurney's twang, haven't we? Bruv, all that sort of thing. He's from Solihull, but he's yeah, bruv. I think it was a decent goal for me to score, bruv, and all that sort of thing. He's never been from Birmingham. Never been from Birmingham. Viva la top of the league at Christmas. Blade says, well, Michael says, it's good that Wilder keeps playing down Sheffield United's promotion prospects by putting the pressure on Leeds and Burnley, taking the pressure off the Blades. Smart operator, isn't he, Michael? Very smart operator. On the way back, professional performance, says David. I think this cements our promotion onwards and upwards, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Oh, that's a huge call before toughest run of fixtures of the season, David. But listen, obviously, we all hope you're right. And fair play, you were loud and proud again today. Them travelling Blades are the best in the league. You can hear them every time you watch an away game. 3 points is 3 points, says Dublin Blade. Top of the league, pressure on Leeds and Burnley again. Missed the game on working, haircut and a pint. I think Wilder is saving our better players for the Christmas programme. I certainly hope so. And if that's exactly what he's doing, the gamble's paid off, hasn't it? Because we've got the results that we needed. So fair play to him, and I hope you're right. Big match against Burnley next, says Michael. Has the club officially changed hands, and what will that do for recruitment in the January window if it goes through or not? Well, excuse me a sec. I'm just conscious of where we are because I'm still massively behind on comments. I want to get Paul in for a few, but has the club officially... No, it's not officially changed hands yet, or it's certainly not been announced that it's changed hands yet. And in terms of the January window, we don't know, in all honesty, how it's going to affect the window. We're obviously very optimistic. I think no matter what happens, whether it's Prince Abdullah, which it's now looking less and less likely, or the new ownership, the minimum expectation is that we'll utilise our 2 Premier League loans for experienced players. And Wilder's already talked about that. It's just there's a little bit of outside hope that the new ownership might want to splash a little bit of cash on maybe a couple of permanent signings to really strengthen the squad. So I'm not expecting it, but it would be a lovely little boost and a nice surprise, nice little Christmas present if we got that in the new year.
Opposite to that, I am expecting it. So,
oh yeah,
I am. Yeah.
You
definitely.
set yourself up for a fall, mate. That's the only thing.
No, mate. They've got to get promoted. The new owners will want them to get promoted. If Wilder wants a couple of players, there'd be mugs not to do it.
Do you give Wilder a new contract now?
Why not? Crikey, if you're the new ownership, what better way to having the last 6 months that we've had? What better way to start your tenure than giving the man that's behind the entire thing?
You know, you're not going to get an argument from me. I was just wondering whether you'd have done it this.
No, I've got 100%, mate. He's proven himself massively at the start of this season, and they need to strike while the iron's hot because I think that'll be good for the club. I think it's good for the players to know that he's getting backed. It'll be a massive tonic to him if they bring a couple of next level players that make a big difference to our 11. If they come in, and we're talking 3 or 4 now, and that could easily happen, then I think that's a statement that the fans would want to see. I think if they want to win over the fans early doors, what better way to do it? Give the manager the new contract. Get those lads in to try and shore up the promotion push because they'll want to get promoted, mate. They're not going to buy the club and go, oh yeah, well hopefully he can do it with his with what he's got. They'll want to galvanise that team. They'll want us to keep doing it again. And at the moment, we are heading for 100 points, and there's no better way to shore that up. It's true, isn't it? It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, and I love it. I absolutely
numbers do not lie. We are heading for 100 points if we can keep this up. So why not back the manager and make sure you get yourself promoted for that £150 million bounty that is waiting for us? Well, to spend 20, you get 150. It's a good bet, isn't it?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Leeds have increased the goal tally to plus 26. We're now on plus 21. Thing is, I thought it were further apart than that, but obviously we've got to play Leeds, and if we're going to beat Leeds, then that'll obviously it counts for double, doesn't it, in your goal difference? So interesting. Get in what a second half, says Steve Holmes. Kiefer Moore does know where the net is. Sunderland have not lost at home yet, says Michael. Interesting. Wow, like my mountain says, it looks like PA's last one, special one. Yeah, absolutely. Pixie says, till the Blades come to town, Michael. Yeah, that's about the Sunderland being undefeated. Does this mean I can buy a hot dog on the cop now? Potentially, Pixie. I'm sure that's coming. Are you drinking from a boot? Says Nick Cook.
Certainly am, my friend.
He certainly is. He certainly is. Nice. Jimmy, you sound like Connor when you say we should be going to Cardiff and beat. No, what I'm saying is we need to recognise what position we're in. I always try and avoid saying stuff like that because you've got to respect teams. But when you see them in the flesh, I thought they were poor today. And I think when a team is there to be beaten, we should be beating them. I've maybe not phrased it the best way, but I never expect before the game to go anywhere and turn a team over easily. But when we lined up today, I thought they were poor. They were passing it out of play. They were giving the ball back to us when we're quite poor at looking after the ball ourselves at times. And I just think they were there for the taking, and we should be beating them when they turn up in that sort of mood. Northside says we start from the bottom and we made it to the top. We started from the bottom and we made it to the top. Up the flipping blades. Okay. Jimmy, at least your bank balance will be healthier this season and you won't be going to buy any expensive items. That shows you're a long-time viewer, Pixie. That's coming back from when I was self-healing by buying myself a caravan and stuff like that when I got upset about results and particularly relegation. 12 more wins and the Blades are promoted. 27 wins is usually the promotion benchmark. Jimmy, unfortunately, the Sheffield United away's on at the same time again. I think they've changed their time as they're usually on at 6. Don't know, mate. Don't know. Couldn't tell you, to be honest. Paul couldn't do any other time tonight. He's stayed on a little bit longer than he was hoping to, actually. So I appreciate you hanging around, mate. Yeah. I'm liking that whoever we have up front is scoring. That second goal today is a striker who's found his confidence, says Daz. Need to get some random fans on, Jimmy. Not all the people you know. Said respectfully. It's
offside.
It's a benefit of being part of our Patreon, pal, and supporting the channel. So that's the way we do it. We did used to open it up to everybody, and we got some questionable callers, shall we say? And it's not that people who don't contribute don't have something to contribute in terms of their feedback and their opinions. But I think it's something that's nice to be able to give back to those that support the channel as well. So that's why we've done it that way. And it's sort of, once you know a little bit about someone as well, you know that you can have an honest conversation with them. They're not going to come on and swear or do anything that you're not expecting them to do as well. So that's why we do it like that. And I understand what you're saying, mate. I don't take it personally. It was done respectfully. 3 points in the bag again, says Great Bants. Wilder has the champion's knack of grinding out wins. Any word on key injuries? Anel, Sousa and Sariki. Don't know much about the Sariki injury, Great Bants, to be fair, but I've heard that Anel and Sousa are 50-50 for Burnley. They were never going to be back today. I don't know whether Wilder alluded to them being back today, but I don't think there were ever a chance of them being fit. It's not like they've had a setback or anything from what I'm aware of. With Russell Martin sacking, does that put a spanner in the works to get Brereton Diaz, says Michael? Possibly. You don't think? Do you think so, Paul?
I don't know, mate. It's new manager might want to have a look at him and maybe do it later on in January when he's had a chance to see him in training, I guess. Yeah,
that's what Michael said there, to be fair. Hey up, Jimmy, says Osblade finally caught another live ramble. Last time I saw a live stream, we were getting thumped in the Prem and you were in the kitchen. Blooming heck. Yeah, I know you've been a long time supporter, Tone. Thank you for your support, mate. And yeah, being other side of the world, it's nice that we can sync up at the same time. Evening, Jimmy. Wishing you all a happy Christmas. Thank you, LA. Happy Christmas to you too. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Blackburn's six-match winning run streak ended against Millwall today in a 1-0 defeat. Always good to see. Fantastic second-half performances, Osblade. Feels like we can regularly find moments of quality to win games now. Exciting Christmas period ahead. 6 main players, and we still grabbed the win. Come on, Blades. Couldn't ask for more, says Northside. Top of the league for Christmas, says TD. Cannot complain. On to the big one. Boxing Day at the Lane. Some tough games coming up, but more than positive to collect points over the Christmas period. Well said. Well said. Robinson has always had a mistake in him, says GT, but he's had more good games than bad for us and will always be a cult play. Absolutely right. I agree with everything you've said there. I agree with everything you've said. He has had more good games than bad. I just lack a bit of confidence in some key moments because we all know he's got a mistake in him, whereas it's not like Anel hasn't got a mistake in him, but I'm much more confident with Anel in possession personally. McBurney, loved him by the way, was never going to score the 2 goals Moore scored today. Moore just a whole level above him in terms of quality. Also, Tom Davis winning the ball back for the first class act. I agree with everything you've said there, Great Bants, and I think that's right. Jimmy, Paul, have you both done your Christmas shopping yet? I'm done, mate. I'm done, I think. Oh no, I need to get one more thing.
I'm not completely done, but I'm about 80% of the struggle through.
Nice.
Right. But I'm just want to say before I disappear, Jim, because I've got to go and get myself ready.
Oh, of course, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to all the Ramblers for all the support this year, and I hope they all have a Merry Christmas. And yeah, it's a real privilege to be asked on, and it's a real privilege to be part of the community. And yeah, I just hope everybody has a nice, peaceful, and restful break. And more than anything else, these next 4 matches, let's get behind them. Let's get behind Kiefer Moore, because if he can produce anything like that, on a weekly basis, we are in the money. Okay, so please keep supporting the Ramble, keep supporting the Blades, and I hope everyone who comes on has a really, really good Christmas. All right, guys, take care.
Top man. Thanks, Paul. Have a great night tonight, mate, and I might see you tomorrow. Speak to you soon.
Indeed.
This is a view from the mountain with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man mountain strong and true. What a man, what a view.
Thank you to Paul. Oh, I'm a bit close now, aren't I? A bit close. Sorry to a bit like Dry Bri. Right, with Robinson being hooked, Wilder had stated before the game, Reece Norrington-Davies had been ripping it up in training, so I'm not too surprised to see the change made. Fair point, Simon. He did say that. I remember him saying that in the interview, and it's good to see Reece Norrington-Davies back involved again, because I think he's a great player. Burnley are in good form. They've beaten a difficult team in Norwich away, and today beating a strong Watford team at home. They are in good form, but so are we. So are we, Michael. And I think we often look to the opposition, don't we, and think, oh, that's going to be tricky, or that's going to be tough. They've got to be thinking the same thing about us. They've got to be. So I am of that thought process too, that a really good team's coming to Bramall Lane on Boxing Day, but we are also a really good team. And I think we've got to back the lads to keep the momentum going. Connor said in his Leeds fan channel that either Blades or Burnley draw or a win for Sheffield United would be good for Leeds, providing Leeds beat Stoke away on Boxing Day. He didn't say the same to me, so he's flip-flopping again. Oh, he don't know. He's no idea. They have got to want Sheffield United to beat. There's 2 positions in there to go up, and yes, they want to finish top. But the best result for Leeds United is Sheffield United to beat Burnley, because we're pushing them further down and further away from Leeds, and then Leeds need to do their bit. So I'd be amazed if they weren't reluctantly, through gritted teeth, cheering for Sheffield United on Boxing Day. Can we return Raksaki in January and free up another loan spot, says Wayne. Didn't think I'd be thinking that a few weeks ago. We can. I don't think we will. I think we'll show faith in him. And we've seen there's a player in there, haven't we? It's just not quite happened for him, unfortunately. But it is a possibility, Wayne, yeah. Josh says, new subscriber. Thank you, pal. Thank you. Welcome to the team. Caught the last takeover Ramble and think it's class. Oh, thank you, mate. People saying negative about Alfie. Just need to remember he's an old school fullback, makes a tackle and stops crosses up the blades. Completely agree with that, Josh. Completely agree that he don't like being a fullback, from what I understand. He prefers to be a centre half. But in terms of the job that we're asking him to do, I noticed again today, stopped a lot of crosses, just shutting down the left winger. He's not always going to get the best of them, and I understand that, but I think he's a really solid right back for us. I think we'll be fine against Burnley, says Jack. If Anel and Sousa are back, definitely need to start a lot faster. But the last top of the table battle at home, we struggled a lot and managed to nick it. I'm so nervous. Don't worry, pal. Don't worry. We're all right. I'm catching up on the comments finally, so I think we're going to be all right for time. Am I the only one who thinks Raksaki looks permanently yeah. Okay. Let's not speculate. Rai says, never mind, Palace don't want him back. If he keeps performing like today, send him back to Palace and get someone like David Brooks instead. Looks not interested at all, says Rai. Is David Brooks getting in currently? Because if he's getting in at Bournemouth, then I'm sure somebody said did he score the other day or something like that. So he may be off the table completely. But we'll see. I've seen that. I mean, this is a stretch, but Leeds have been linked with Buendia. Aston Villa is not getting in. He would be very, very, very expensive. But, you know, would he do a job for us? If Leeds are being linked to him, we're higher position than Leeds. So we'll see. And he'll probably get more game time. Liam says, I hope that your striker would live up to the more stereotype and be awful today. He must be the only more that can kick a ball. He wasn't great in the first half, Liam. Liam's a Leeds fan, for those that aren't aware. He wasn't great first half. But then it's one of these that a lot of us have tried to stick with him, and it feels like we've been vindicated a little bit, seeing that absolute quality from him second half. Brilliant. Brooks on his way, says Alan. Get Brooks on his way. Right, says perfect day to set up for the boxing tonight. Yes, I'll be watching that, pal. Up the blades, and love to Mr. Nose. Hope you're okay, pal. Yeah, sending it out. Love to Dave Leary. I think the new owners are going to splash the cash, says Jack. They want to get promoted. Got to be Boxing Day. The new owners are unveiled at the Lane. Maybe so. Maybe so. Brooks is apparently off in January, says Chris, after a fallout with Wilder. Another 100-point title-winning season, says Dublin Blade. 14 clean sheets for Cooper in 19 days. That's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely... what a ludicrous record that is. Michael Cooper, and obviously the defence in front of him, but Michael Cooper is sensational. If the Blades are heading for 100 points, as Paul said, then Jimmy, you have to ask Connor what size Blades shirt he needs to wear on screen. I'll be looking forward to that, pal. Should have hammered these. Same as Oxford. These teams we don't turn the screw against, and it's frustrating at times. After the first half, Chris, I was just happy to get out with 3 points, because sometimes the longer it goes, it looks like you might not break them down. So I'm delighted with the result today, I have to say. Daz says, what a result. Loved every minute and great to be involved with a great atmosphere. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Daz, another one of those travelling Blades. Well done, pal. Great support again today. We heard you loud and proud. Didn't mean it disrespectfully, pal. We're all... I know you didn't, pal. Don't worry. It's no offence taken. And I like that you can ask me honest questions. It's not a... No danger. All good. Brereton Diaz has bought a house in Dore, apparently. I've heard the same rumours, Chris, but not from valid sources. Just people in our group. House hunting indoor. Apparently, it's them same rumours, isn't it? When you hear about, oh, I saw him coming out of McDonald's on Ecky Road, or you know what I mean? It's I don't know. I don't know if I believe it, to be honest. And not that he's not a target, because I would like to have him in. Moore's got 3 and 2, so we play Campbell as well as Moore. When Campbell's fit, says Pixie. Granted, you're going to have to drop someone, maybe Raksaki. I don't think I'm not expecting Campbell to be fit for the Christmas fixtures, to be honest, Pixie. Unfortunately, I might be wrong, and I hope I am. Has anyone seen the Prince's Instagram post with the league table? Yes, Lewis, we have, mate. We have. If Hamer costs 15 million, how much do we reckon he's worth now? 35 minimum. He's worth however much he's worth to us, isn't he? I don't think these. I can't imagine a team paying more than 20 million for him. But is he worth more than 20 million to us? I would argue that he is. I would argue that, yeah, he is, because he's absolutely crucial to our promotion push. So we're not accepting. I wouldn't think we would accept a penny less than 30 for him. And at his age and the fact that he can be quite inconsistent, I don't think anybody's. I think we've hit the sweet spot, really, where I don't think anybody takes him. Looks like the Blades are going to replace Man City, whose current form is relegation form. They've lost yet again to Aston Villa today. They're shocking, aren't they, Michael? Shocking at the moment. I don't know where it is. Cheers, Jimmy. Cheers, Paul. Great show again. Hope you both have a great Christmas and all the Blades. See you all Boxing Day, Blades. Top for 2025. Absolutely right. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you jumping on, pal. The only team in the last 15 years to top the table at New Year and not get promoted was Leeds United in Bielsa's first season. Who went up instead of them? Oh, yeah, it was. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, says Steve. On to Boxing Day. Great win away. Top of the league. Peck and Davis, especially Davis, is sick in our midfield. Literally sick in our midfield. Top of the league for Christmas, says Andy. See all those smiling faces. Top of the league for Christmas. 2 Kiefer Moore aces. It's plain to see the Blades are going to the Premier League. Top of the league for Christmas. I don't know what tune that's to, Andy, so I'm not going to sing for you, but yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Crime Scene Cleaners says, Robbo just edges it for me. Stronger than an L. And there's a better final ball, especially thumping it up the field. And an L doesn't have a long throw. I'll give you the long throw. I'll give you the one quality ball to Gus. Name me another. And Anel, anyway, that's going to take us over into if we get into the Anel versus Robinson debate. I don't even think it's a debate, to be honest. Hit that like button, says Mr. V, and subscribe to the best Blades content on the internet. Come on, you red and white wizards, up the Blades and up the ramp. Thank you, Mr. V. Really appreciate that, pal. Think me a fool, but I think the spirit of George Baldock is pushing the Blades to promotion. Oh. Georgie Baldock, what a man. What a man. Jimmy, do you think this Blades team is better than the team that Hecky took to promotion, as well as the previous Chris Wilder team that won promotion? I think it's splitting hairs between the 18-19 team. I would probably give them the edge, to be honest. But I certainly think it's better than the Paul Eckingbottom team. And that's, I suppose, he's a feather in Ecky's cap as well, because he's got a team promoted that I don't think is as good as this one. The one thing I'm positive on, because it's fresh in the memory, this team in the Championship is so much better than the Premier League side we had last year. And that's frightening, isn't it, to think it's necessary, because we were awful in the Premier League, but I certainly think we've got a better squad now than we did in the Premier League. Chris is happy with the new owner's proposal, says Northside. Say no more. Okay. Love that. Pixie said, I said in the past that Man City know what's happening and they're getting relegated, hence the poor form they're in with the outcome of the 130 charges they have. Yeah, well, time will tell with that, won't it? Time will tell. Oh, that's the end of the comments. We have won today again. Top of the league for Christmas. Top of the league going into our massive game on Boxing Day. I'll be back with a warm-up definitely on Monday. We may be back. Keep your notifications on, because currently we're scheduled to do 3 Mardy Blades tomorrow. That might be moved depending on the lads' schedule. So keep your notifications on to know whether we're going to be going live with 3 Mardy Blades tomorrow to do our plan for Jan. I will definitely be back on Monday to wish you all a Merry Christmas as we do the warm-up in preparation for Burnley. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade!
Ramble on.